Lord, my goodness. My goodness, we are here today. We are here today. We are here today, gathered here today. My goodness. I tell y'all, I thought I was gonna do a second stream yesterday. And that backyard humbled the hell out of me. I should make a backyard. I should have, you know what? I should have streamed me doing backyard stuff. Cutting the grass, moving stuff. I spent hours. It was fun though. I mean, it's always fun when see, I like doing it by myself because then nobody's rushing me and I can take breaks. I can get it done how I want to get it done. That way. Oh my gosh. Oh, I did a University of Maryland Global Campus class when I was oh, she's a full stack web developer. What does she do? Software engineer? Cool. She's self oh, is she self-taught? Hold on, she was self-taught and then she got her degree. Ooh. I think. Ooh. Hold on. Oh, okay, okay. Okay. Come through, Miss Jimenez. Congratulations. I'm gonna say. I don't know who she is, but congrats on graduating. Congrats. Alright. I don't know who you are, but congratulations. Let me see. Let's go to the Twitter. Twitter. Post. If you're an engineer who wants to master AI, we want to fly you to Austin, cover your house and cover your food, have someone do your laundry, train you to use AI, get you a 200K plus job with our hiring partners. Jesus. Is this for real? Is this real? I don't have to take off my clothes, do I? This sounds too good to be true. Oh wow. This guy's a good salesman. I like his responses. Unless his responses aren't him. Oh, that's so scary. Oh gosh. I hope it's working out. I hope it works out for everybody who joins. That's okay. So oh yeah, I gotta finish posting this stuff everywhere. Go to the live chat, turn on the monetization. Yes, you gotta turn it on. I find that when I turn on monetization, more people watch the stream. Ain't this some crazy shit? Just a little tip for anybody. What's up, Aziz? Alright. You would think Discord would be in the thing. Okay. Let's see. Turn off Copilot. Yeah, I'm learning React. Alright. Alright, so let me think. Oh yeah, I gotta post it in the channel. So we gotta do streams, and then we go here. So this is a day 127. Wow. Wow, that's an interesting number. I put 31 here. It should have been 33. 30. I'm messing up. This was 30. This was 31. 32. Okay, so this is 33. What's up, Roha? What's up, Wapuka Zawak? Just setting up stream stuff. Doing my last bit of things. I should really automate this process, but you know, it is what it is. Do I think this stream helps me to be consistent? I think so. You know what helps me be consistent? Having a do or die mentality at this chapter of my life. That's what I think. But what do I know? I'm just some random guy from Texas. 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 So I checked my GitHub. Let me check my email real fast. I got up this morning. I did a lot of yard work after I got off the stream yesterday. A lot. And at first I was like, I can stream again. And then I was like, yeah, nah, I can't. Yeah, nah. Not happening. Not happening. No. Did I get any type of message? Anybody? What? Oh. Our station. Alright. People think there's some secret sauce to staying consistent. I'll answer this. Who's this? Solomon Mohammed. Minneapolis. Lumix Health. He's a front-end developer at Lumix Health. He, Lumix Health? What is that? Oh, there's a lot of people there. Okay, that's cool. Okay. So, I'm gonna say this. I guess this will be the thing, because you know I always rant every stream. I have to rant. I gotta rant. It's a part of who I am at this point. I have to rant. You can't take it away from me. Did I get my green square yesterday? Uh-oh. Is the stream about to... Okay. Thought the stream was about to... Okay. Oh, okay, cool. So we're on the 19th. Tomorrow, I think spring starts tomorrow. When does spring start? Ooh. Tomorrow, spring starts. I've been doing a lot of spring cleaning. Oh my god, that feels good. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. What is this? What is that? That's where I didn't brush my hair properly. Oop. Is it? Oop. Alright. Okay, so on the consistency thing, I think this chart is very great to talk about consistency. As you can see here, my good sir, as you can see here, I was not consistent. At first, it was very rough. I got laid off over here. Well, you know, I lost my job over here. And then for a month, I didn't know what to, hold on. Yeah, for about a month, I didn't know what I want to do with my life. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll start programming something. Created JavaScript projects. Then, started doing other things, right? Damn, hold on, I just want to see the whole thing. I don't know how to bring it back. Okay, there we go. And then all of a sudden, it was rocky at first. Your consistency is going to be rocky. You see how many days I skipped and stuff? And then there was a whole week I didn't do it. And then I was like, you know what, I'll do it. And then there was 2 more days I didn't do it. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll start doing it. And I started doing it. Some of these gray squares are probably depression. Da 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 da. Became more consistent. Da 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 da. So then we can come over here and we can see. Let's see. I'm subscribed to Coding Jesus. Okay, and so if we go to videos and we go to oldest and then we go to the very first one, this was what day was this? November 11th. November 11th. Interesting. So November 11th, and let's go back to, so November 11th. Okay, so November 11th is right here. And then that's when I started being consistent. So November 11th was when I made the decision. Now, I need you to think about what I'm telling you right now. All right? Okay. So this is November the 11th. This is when I made my first video, right? Around here is when I got laid off. All of this was thinking, right? 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 And this whole block right here is depression, right? Sad. Aww, what am I gonna do with my life? What am I gonna do with my life? Right? And then we enter serious depression. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? I don't have a job. Oh my God, I'm 34. I don't have a job. What am I gonna do? Okay, and then, then this, out of all, now mind you, there was a lot of depression here, and during this time, okay, hold on, let me see some. This was some crazy depression right here. This shit, crazy depression, right? So this is when I got laid off. This is no money. And then this is when I was like, okay, well, maybe I want to do the coding thing right here. Well, maybe I want to do the coding thing. And we know that was the first JavaScript projects repository. So let's go here. That was this repository right here. Right? Well, hello. Hold on one second. I didn't watch you live for 7 days and came to watch today. Okay, so let's get back to what we were talking about. Okay, so on this day, okay. Let's go back to what we were doing. All right. So, laid off, serious depression. I'm talking about depression where I started throwing shit away. It was bad. It was bad. I didn't know. Yeah, I know what I mean. If some of y'all deal with depression, you know what I mean. What's understood don't need to be explained. Serious depression, right? Then here is when I made the JavaScript projects repository. Okay. Now this is us talking about consistency. I didn't know what I wanted to do. See, it was spotty. I was like, right? And then I had another week of depression where I was like, what am I going to do? And then I made the repository, JavaScript. And then after that week of deciding that, after making that, here's the repository. What was this? Let's see. What was this? Frontend mentor. Will it matter to you if I don't watch you ever? I'll answer that in a second. So this is, I was doing front-end mentor projects. I was like, okay, I can do this. So this was a front-end mentor project. So let's circle that in green. But I was still confused. So the whole point of me spelling this out is that I was confused. There was a lot of sadness and trying to find a way and trying to make decisions and a lot of soul searching and stuff before we got into what? Consistency. So, and this, hell. Hell. All right? Consistency. Hell. Unfortunately, before you get to consistency land, you have to go through hell. Oh, Lord. So, yes. So this is a great chart. And if you go back, you'll see I even streamed on Christmas, on New Year's, on Christmas Day I streamed, on New Year's Day I streamed, every major holiday, and I will continue to stream on every major holiday. I don't give a damn. So now, mind you, I wanna make it clear before we start coding and stuff. I think it's important to note there was a whole life lived, right? There was a whole life back here that has not been recorded, right? And if it wasn't for this whole life that I had lived, I wouldn't have been able to do all of this. So what can we call this? Living. You're right, Jason. You're right. And I was thinking about Jason, you are 100% right, because last year, okay, I was one of those people that never really had to study. Why do you call it hell? I'll answer that in a second. Let me touch on what Jason just said. Jason, you're right. And the other day I was on stream and I was like, man, I got to be careful. I experienced, I was a person who never really had to study. I didn't start studying heavily until like 2 or 3 years ago. Even in my master's program, I didn't have to study, right? I was just like, whatever. And I didn't use ChatGPT in my counseling program. That was all me. I was writing all that shit. And so I didn't really have to I didn't really study until last year, when I was like, okay, I want these CompTIA certifications and I want to go knee deep into IT. And so I dedicated so much time to studying, and I was doing WGU classes. In a matter of 2.5 months, I finished 8 WGU classes, and I got my CompTIA A+, which is 2 tests, and then I got another certification, all in the span of 2 months. And I was completely burned out after that. I didn't know what burnout was, but I knew for some reason Like when it came to just sitting down at the computer and trying to do anything, my body was like, no. It wasn't even a complex thought. It was just a whole ass no. Like I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not about to go to work again. Go to work, spend 10 hours in front of a computer, and then come home and study. You got me fucked up. At least after all those classes and studying for those certs. But okay, so the next question was why do you call it hell? Because it was hell. It was. Let me tell you something. Okay. Anybody that deal with depression has dealt with suicidal ideation, right? Most people, if you've been a depressive for long enough, there's been thoughts, and there were a lot of thoughts after I lost my job. I did not know what I was gonna do. I did not know what I was gonna do. Will it matter to you if I don't watch you ever? You do not want to ask me that question. You do not want to ask me that question. Or do you really want to answer Bite Blast? um, there was a lot of depression here where I was trying to figure it out. And mind you, this whole conversation is about consistency. This whole conversation is about consistency. It was hell because I didn't know what I was going to do. When the pandemic started, I had just got my degree. And then the pandemic started. And then I was trying desperately to find a job. I was trying to find my place in the world. I was doing X. I was moving here. I was moving that. I moved to 2 different states, lived in 3 or 4 different cities, trying to figure it out. Okay, going through absolute bullshit. Also, during this time, there was a lot of counseling. Because I did a lot of therapy. I went to a lot of counseling. Because your boy was dealing with childhood trauma. Okay? A lot of counseling. About 7 years worth of consistent counseling. Right? During this time, I also deal with no support system. As some of y'all know, my biological family, we don't talk. No support, sis. Which made my 20s very rough, right? So there was a lot of things going on here. Now, mind you, we are still talking about consistency. 2013. So in 2013, how old was I? If I'm 34, will it matter if you... Bite Blast. I'm going to answer that question. No, it won't matter to me. I want you here, but I want you to have the freedom to make whatever choice you want. And if you don't want to watch me, that's fine. I will still love you from a distance. But the fact that you asked me that makes me concerned, makes me worried. I'm concerned for your well-being. Okay, bye. See you later. All right. So 2013 was when I left the U.S. Air Force. By that December of 2013, I was homeless. No home. Right? There was a lot of... Well, how old was I? 22? 21? A lot of stuff. Anyway. And mind you, this is about consistency. What I'm trying to tell you, and because people ask me, how do I stay disciplined and consistent? I've been through some shit. Everybody's been through some shit. I'm not special in that, right? And all that shit that I went through before all of this shit got me to this point. It was the foundation. It was the foundation for all of this shit. And so I don't know. Some people, they don't need to go through all that shit to get to that, right? They don't have to go through all of this. I can't even put my hand over there. And good thing I can't put my hand over there because I don't even want to touch it anymore. Some people don't have to go through all that shit. right? They don't have to go through homelessness. They don't have to go to the military. They don't have to, they don't have to go through all this shit. Failed relationships, failed friendships, all different types. They don't have to go through all of that to get to the consistent part. They don't have to, you can just tell them and they're like, okay, I don't want to touch that. But for me, at least back then, I had to touch some shit. So, why am I consistent? Why am I disciplined? Because before that pink squiggly ass line was hell. And that was this hell. Listen, throughout this time, I had dreams of a valley. And I always, and I would have dreams that I was wading through a valley. And now, in your opinion, how long will you become a web dev? I don't fucking know. I don't know. If you want me to rub my crystal ball and tell you, ooh, I know when I'm gonna become a web dev. Whenever somebody hires me, whenever they feel that I'm worthy. It's not for me to worry about that. It's for me to get my skills together so that when the time comes, they'll be like, okay, this is our guy. All right. Oh, we drawn. Oh, I haven't seen you in a long time, Zero. You moved to a new place, to a new apartment, and you... Hold on, no. Yeah. Croatia? Is it Croatia? It starts with a C. Okay, Croatia. Okay, see, I be remembering shit. I be remembering people. You moved to a new apartment. Was it a new position, new job, or something like that? Okay. So, what else was I about to say? Hell. Now, while that was hell, this over here was Super Saiyan hell. Okay? Shit I can't even talk about. Right? Super Saiyan hell. Lost in the sauce type shit. Mysterious, mystical, magical bullshit. Now, during this time, I kept having dreams that I kept having a dream. And in this dream, there was a valley. Right? In the dream, there was a valley. And I had to, in some ways, wade through this valley that was filled with darkness. Right? That's how it felt. Right? It felt like there was this time, I kept having these dreams. And all I knew is that I had to keep going. I had to keep going forward. And if I kept going forward, I felt that there was going to be something on the other side of this valley. But inside the valley, there was nothing but darkness. But I knew that there would be a path. I don't know how to explain it, but at least that's what the dream was about. Right? The dream. Okay. So we got hell. We got the dreams that I kept having. Then we can go into the prayers. Was there light on the other side or something? Hell no. There's something in the Bible where they would talk about the shadow of the valley of death meaning? Maybe that's what I was thinking of. Is it metaphor for life? Okay. The valley of the shadow. The valley of the shadow of death from Psalm 23:4 is a metaphor for life's most terrifying, dark, and perilous moments, such as deep sorrow, severe danger, or depression. It signifies a temporary, frightening experience, not just physical death, where one feels protected by God despite surrounding fears. Now, I've never been a seriously religious person, and I've never even read this part of the Bible. And it says it represents navigating intense fear and uncertainty, rather than just the finality of death itself. And so I kept having dreams of a valley that was filled with darkness. And I knew that if I kept navigating, if I kept just moving forward through the valley, right, that I would be okay. And that was the dream I was having. And this was all back then. Back then. What else? Challenges with family. Challenges with family. My biological father okay. My mother and father met at the same. So my father graduated from the same university that I graduated from. He met my mother, who was working at McDonald's at the time. Okay, they met one time, had a fling, and had me. He was completely not prepared. He was not prepared. He did not want a kid. Okay, and so that, and he did not want me to be here. That was the beginning of me, right? My mother's side was very happy about it, but his side was like uncertain about it. And so I was raised by my mother and my stepfather, and that came with its own difficulties. Now, mind you, I'm skipping some things because I feel like there's some things that are gonna eventually on stream they'll come out. The whole point of me telling you this is that once I turned 18, I was a step kid. Once I turned 18, I got kicked out. Now, kicked out. Right? So once I turned 18, I got kicked out. And I was a shelter kid. So I was a kid. I was playing video games. I didn't really know much about the outside world because I stayed inside all the time. That was basically the start of my adult life. And then eventually I realized that this wasn't gonna work. I went to the Air Force. Doop 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 boop 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 boop. 2010. All right. What else? What else do the people need to know? I guess I could sum this up before we start coding. Listen, you asked me how I'm disciplined. You asked me how I'm consistent. It's because there was a whole bunch of shit that happened before the squiggly line, right? You're looking at somebody asked me, why am I consistent? How am I consistent? And so now we're talking about how my consistency came to be. You know, now that I think about it, coming to the stream and seeing this is crazy. Oh yeah. We in there today. So I don't know what is going to be the catalyst for you to be consistent and disciplined. I don't know what it is. Malachi, what is that? Oh, that's the orange I gave him earlier. You can't hide it. I'ma see it. Most insightful, important moment in all that time. The most insightful, important moment in all that time. There's a couple of things. So I graduated in 2019. That is not a good color. No, I don't want that color either. Y'all bear with me with these colors. I graduated in 2019, right? And as we know, what happened after 2019 was the dark times, aka COVID. Okay. Now, when I graduated in December of 2019. I graduated in December of 2019. During my graduation, I got a call. I got a call from my biological father. I don't know how this man got my number. And, you know, I remember telling him, you know, that day when I graduated, I was in a dorm room. I was in a dorm room. Usually, when people get ready for their graduations, they are with their family, putting on their cap and gown. There's pictures, there's hugs. It was just me in a dorm room, in an empty dorm room, just a bed and a computer. And I put on my cap and gown, and I walked from my dorm to the graduation by myself. The only thing I heard were the click clacks of my shoes. Shut up, Aziz. We doing what I want to do. All right. This is a question I get all the time. I don't care what you want. And I'm very serious about that. If you don't know what's going on, then I don't know what to tell you. So, somebody asked me what was the most insightful, important moment in all that time. The most insightful and important moment in all that time was when I walked to my graduation. But that was one thing. When I walked to my graduation by myself, that was one. Two was when I got that call from my biological father, and I told him on the phone, all of this would have been so much easier if you would have been a part of my life. My biological father is a lawyer and was a judge out here in my hometown. He still has every day I was going to my IT job. Every day I was going to my IT job, I would pass by his law firm, right? In whatever building it's in. So I told him, I said, it would have been so much easier if you just had made the decision to be a part of this. And then I hung up. I went through my graduation. I got my cap and gown. My best friend was there. And then when we walked out of the building, my mother and my stepdad and my brother were there. Right? And my stepfather was so ugly during that graduation. That was the other moment. That kind of woke me up. The next thing one of the most insightful things I probably went through that probably topped that was let's see, how do we draw this? So we got that, and then we got this, and then we got this. Probably the shroom trips. Yeah. Once I began to explore psychedelics, that began to make me think in a whole different way. So, but anyway, so you want to know why? The Air Force? No, I do not regret it. It was an amazing experience. I do not regret it. And if it wasn't for the military, I wouldn't have healthcare. So if it wasn't for the military, I wouldn't have realized that I could be disciplined. If it wasn't for the military, I wouldn't have realized that there was a whole different side of me. So, let's call this consistency. We're gonna 3/19 2026. So, and mind you, I'm leaving a whole bunch of shit out. Okay, so let's summarize this so that I can start coding. I am consistent because I went through bullshit. Okay. And I hope you don't have to go through bullshit. Because most people that I know that went through similar bullshit are either dead. They went through more intense bullshit. Maybe because they decided to rely on drugs. Okay, maybe they subscribe to drugs or sex or some other vice, and they still struggle with that, right? So, yeah. So that's how we're here. Anyway, all right. So let me save this. Oop. I need to delete this particular folder. What do I put in here? Screenshots. Okay. I think you should join up. I don't know about the security clearance. Kristen, do you have a portfolio site yet? No, I do not. I'm working on learning React and building that stuff. You know, I actually asked, I said, how long does it take to learn React? It says 4 to 8 weeks to understand the basics, 3 to 6 months to become proficient enough for professional, job ready, or complex projects. So I think I'm right on track. But are you a veteran due to an accident, or I'm a veteran because I was in the military? Aziz. Okay. This is Aziz. Uzbekistan. All right. So now we can start our coding journey. And I will. Yeah, I have started React. I'm saying we're starting React today. All right. So now, since we finished that, why don't we, hold on. No, we have two. So yesterday I was like, okay, we need to start, let me see. Let's open Claude. I just realized that the reason they call it OpenClaw what? You can plan a day trip, find new recipes, write a great email. You could plan a trip? Hold on, how does that work? No, I don't want to interface with you like that. Stop it. Isn't web development going to be replaced by AI though? Do you want to get slapped in the mouth? Okay, so the reason we're doing the to-do is because it will help us implement the context API, the provider pattern, the custom hooks, local stores. Okay, so let's go over the context API. So let's review the other, which I think was the multi-step form. So the context API, if we go to, actually I put it all in one folder, in one file. So all right, so let me review this. So what's up, Regrew? Hey Chris, just started to tune in. I admire your enthusiasm and your grit to keep on learning. Any tips for people trying to self-learn like you? Sorry if you get this all the time. Any tips for self-learning? Take your time. Oh, my biggest tip for self-learning is make a plan, right? Just make a plan. And a lot of people will give you advice on what you're doing. Be careful with advice. Stick to a certain path or course. Don't move between, where's my phone? Don't move between too many resources too fast. You know what I mean? Oh, and build shit. You got to keep building shit. You have to keep building shit. If I don't build shit, I get bored. You got to build shit. That's the only way to learn. Okay. I hope that helped. Okay, so we were learning context API. So context API is where, well, I just realized I can't explain the context API. So the context API is where we're able to essentially share information with components without prop drilling. That's at least that's how it is in my mind. So I'm going to say context API allows us to share information without prop drilling. Okay. So this is the box. So first we make a box. Then, well, in this case, I put everything in one file, one JSX. Then we export function theme provider. Then we created. So my mind just went. Oh yeah, so initially when we set the theme on, what is that called? Lazy loading or something? Lazy loading? I don't know. So with this one, I was like, I wanna. Oh, y'all might be wondering what this site is. Yeah, y'all gonna. Some of y'all don't know what this is, but I'm gonna show y'all. Y'all gonna be like, what? Okay, so the whole point of this was to learn the context API, right? And so I used the context API to make a theme switch. Boop, boop, boop. All right. So what we did was we said we wanted to check. So I did learn local storage yesterday too. So we check the local storage and we see if the local storage has theme in it. And if it doesn't, we give this false. We say is dark is set to false. So that's on load. And then we create a function called theme switch, which sets is dark to the opposite of whatever it is at that point. Boom, bam. Then we use effect when is dark is changed. We set local storage to is dark, right? Then we return a provider, a component with theme switch, and we call it themes. Hold on, yeah, right here. We call it theme switch. Hold on, whoa. Did we put the? Yeah, we put the stuff. Okay, so this is how we insert things into the box. So that tricked me up yesterday. So I return this, and then we export use theme, return use context, and this will return both of these. Okay. So then I went into app, and I said import theme provider from theme switch / use theme, and then we wrap this in theme provider, which gives it access to these, which gives all the components inside there access to is dark and theme switcher. So then we can go into navbar and we'll say import use theme from / use theme. Okay. And then use theme has is dark and theme switcher in it. So we use destructuring to get this out of it. Okay. And then we say, now since we have is dark, we can go here and make a ternary and say, like, if it is dark, then we do this. If it's not dark, then we do that. And then we can also use theme switcher. Okay. As I explained that to y'all, I realized that I need more practice on the context API. Okay. Okay, let's practice this again. Because I feel like that's the only way I'm going to learn this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to shopping cart. Because when I make things, I do like them to look very nice. So I think I'm gonna have some shopping items over here. I'm gonna have this nav bar. Is that how I want it? Let me see. What are the requirements for this project? Nav bar, cart, in completely different branches of the tree, but both need the same cart data. So we need 4 hard-coded products in product list, a cart count badge in navbar, a running total in cart, same pattern as your theme provider. Okay. So let's just find a design that works. All right, so I think this is how it's gonna look. Okay. Tell me why. Is there something on there that no, I'm gonna do that user JS1327. I'm gonna do that. But tell me, hold up. I thought we were I'm confused. I thought we were on Byte 8.0. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I got you. Why yesterday we were using 8. Why is it saying 9? What is going on? Y'all see that? Why does it say that? Anybody know? If it's supposed to be 8, I don't understand. Yeah, that's what I did. See? That's what I did right here. Yeah, that's what I did. See? What is going on? Yesterday it was 8. I don't understand. This shit. (2026) 319. They just did this today. It's supposed to be an 8. Anybody know? I'm so confused. Ask ChatGPT. No. I want to know. I don't just want to install stuff. I want to know. Y'all crazy. And see, you just want me to start pressing stuff because y'all impatient, but I want to know what's going on. See, look, it even says right here. I would have never known this. That's because create Vite. That's because create Vite and Vite the actual, okay, that's because create Vite, the project scaffolding tool, and Vite the actual build tool are two different packages with different version numbers. Create Vite, that the CLI tool that sets up the project, the actual build tool that gets. See, I didn't know that. You said, was it promised to you? What you talking about? Oh, yeah, I hit him from the channel. I don't play that shit. So when you run npm, okay. I didn't know. See, I would have never known that there was something like this was a CLI tool when I create Vite, and then the actual build tool is the Vite. Okay, there we go. Boop. 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 I have to pee so bad. Y'all might have to wait a second. I do use the terminal in VS. Watch. You want to see me use some terminal in VS? Watch this. I will satisfy your craving for. Is it X? I'm always forgetting this one. I wrote it on the wall. Oh, my bad. I was already getting. I was like, please don't do that shit you were doing the other day. All right. All right. What's the difference between using CSS and Tailwind? Uh, well, the cool thing about Tailwind is that it puts everybody on the same page, right? It just puts everybody on the same page. Um, that's an important thing. So this is the UI we're gonna use. Okay, 1 second. No timer for 5 minutes. Okay, I gotta pee. Be right back. Oh, I'm muted. Oh, that was just to practice the context API. What do you mean as a service? What the hell? Listen, you got to make these projects interesting, man. The Booty as a Service app is going great. We are planning to release in Q3. We continue to learn. Okay. So the first thing I want to do. Okay, so let's see. We need. I need. So we need a car provider, 4 hard-coded products and product lists, a cart count badge in navbar, a running total in cart. All right. Let's work on the nav bar. All right, that's good. Then we will come over here. We'll create a new file. We'll say nav. So 1 div, 2 divs. Maybe we don't need to search for products. And a cart. All right. So can I make the code font bigger? Yeah. Go to extensions. Type in ES6. That's React Native. I'm confused. Is it this? All right, do that. Thank you so much. Do I need that? I thought I already had snippets in there. Well, y'all figure it out. I'm about to continue. All right. So if y'all want, add it to the resources. Go to resources in the Discord. and just put it there, and I'll go and click it. All right. Your shopping cart. So we need a nav bar. And the nav bar has nav bar is a div. It has that. Alright, I'm gonna just make all that because why not? 1, 2, 3, 4. What's up, KR? What's up, K? What's up, USAF? Alright. My bad. I was focused. Alright, let me get back in. Oh, that's what's up. Link me to the stream in the Discord. I know I made these items center. I know I did. Oh. Hold up, can I do that? I can. That is. Hold on. Is that the same gray color? No, it's slightly darker. So what is that's 500? What is 600? 600 is 4A5565. And then the shopping cart. Oh no, that's the shopping cart. Oops. I changed. Yeah, I want to know that now. Okay. All right. That fix that. What's up, Doc? And then we have our lane. I wonder, do they have a default like logo or something? Um, user. Thank you. How did you stick the nav bar to the top? The nav bar is at the top because it's the first thing. Like even if we were doing regular HTML, you know what I mean? Like it would be the first thing at the top, right? So you said, how do I stick? Now that's a whole different thing. Like how do you make it stick as you scroll? That is I think they have a sticky nav bar. I think that's position. Is it actually called sticky? You see how that nav bar stays right there? I think it's called, yeah, it's literally called position sticky. That's how you make a sticky nav bar. So I think you have to set the parent of the nav bar. Hold on. Do you have to set the parent of the nav bar to something? Yeah, and you got to set it to top 0. Okay, sticky between relative and fixed, depending on the scroll. You must specify at least one. You have to specify where it needs to stick to. So you need to give it top right, bottom, or left. All right, that's good to know. I've never had to make a sticky nav bar. If I do it like that, it would be censored. What do you mean? It wouldn't be censored, or it would be censored. Why is this graphic design? I'm a degree in graphic design. Why is this? I feel like, is that too close? Yeah, I do feel like that's too close. That's way too close. Let's do. I don't really need to do all this. I'm just doing this because I just like things to look pretty. So whatever. Um, did I add a gap? No, there's already a gap that's implied when you do justify between, I think. So what I want to do is reduce the gap on these things a little bit. Oops. All right, that's good enough. Hold on. Maybe I need to create another div. And then that's close enough, right? That's close enough. Hmm. Hmm. Oh no. That did not change anything. I think that's okay. I think that's all right. Or would I rather it be white? Let me see. All right, that's good enough. And then what's up, Aziz? Yeah. All right. I think that's good enough. Except, I feel like there's more that could be done. Number one, uh, number one, these buttons. Will that work? It will work. Boop. Y'all like that? Oops. Oh, that's on user. Is it a scale? Hold on. Isn't it called? Okay. All right, that's better. Yeah, I'm interested. Oh, yeah, let me know. There's an advice section of the Discord. You can go to advice. I read this. I read everything people post in the Discord. So if you go to the Discord and post something in advice, I look at it. I look at all of this. Historically, we have put stuff in advice. So, all right. And plus, if it's gonna help me learn, I'm all for it. Yeah, put it in the Discord if you a Craftsman Guide to Software Structure and Design by Robert Martin. There's some places where you can save time in lines of code. Let me know, user. I'll just call you user for now. Just let me know what you think I should do. All right. So the next part of this, I don't know why I'm taking so long on this. This is supposed to be just a practice context API, but whatever. Now we need. It said we need the. We need a product list. So we need a section right here, and then we need the cart. So oh, thank you. Oh, if you post links, it'll get deleted. You can only post links in the Discord. Yeah, see like how Jason did it? You can only post links in the Discord. I don't let people post, if people could post links in here, it would get crazy real fast. Oh, what did your comment say? I don't know. I know I didn't delete it, so I don't know what's going on. Let me see. Oh, okay. So I could create a shopping area where the shopping cart exists. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. What do I want to have in this? Hold on, let me check Claude. What were the... Okay. Let me think. So we got the shopping cart area. And then we can have shopping product. Yeah, I work with SVGs. Um, Usually when I do a front end mentor project, because they have a lot of SVGs. Why? What's up? All right, I gotta take a break. Yeah, it's raining. Oh man. All right, we're gonna have to do this later. I have some things I gotta take care of. Family stuff. So I will be back, and we will continue this. Sorry that it has to end like this. Apologize. So I will see y'all later.